She said, "I won't be long." I replied, "Take your time. I'll be gone when you return." The message arrived while she was tying her shoes. I won't be long. 3 words. Casual. Careless. Heavy enough to crack bone. She didn't look at me when she said it. That mattered. She used to. Always. Even when lying about small things, late meetings, forgotten calls, she would still look at me, as if eye contact could turn fiction into truth. Tonight, her eyes slid past me, like I was already gone. I watched her fingers fumble with the laces. Not nervous. Practiced. Efficient. She'd done this before. Many times. My chest tightened, but my face didn't move. I replied without thinking, "Take your time." She smiled. Relief flashed, quick, unguarded. That smile told me everything my mind had been refusing to assemble. The door closed softly behind her. No drama. No rush. Just silence. I stood there, listening to the echo of her absence. The apartment felt staged. Furniture arranged. Air rehearsed. Like a set built for a lie I had been living inside. My phone vibrated. A name I didn't recognize. A message I wasn't meant to see. She's on her way. I didn't sit down. Didn't pace. Didn't rage. I simply breathed. Slow. Measured. Somewhere beneath the calm, something old and violent stirred, not anger. Clarity. And clarity is dangerous. I told myself there were explanations. I always did. People don't betray you all at once. They erode you. Grain by grain. Small absences. Half-truths. A laugh that comes a second too late. A phone tilted away from your eyes like a shield. I remembered the nights she came home later. Not happier. Just emptied. As if someone else had already taken what I used to receive. She said it was stress. She said it was work. She said I was imagining things. I believed her because believing her was easier than dismantling a life. But the message stayed on my screen. She's on her way. No name. No context. No denial possible. I didn't confront her. That would have been mercy. And mercy requires uncertainty. I needed certainty. So I began to listen. I noticed the new passcode on her phone. The way she showered the moment she came home. The way her voice softened when she stepped outside to take calls. Patterns are confessions, if you're patient enough to read them. At night, lying beside her, I counted breaths. Hers slowed faster than mine. Always. She slept cleanly, like someone with nothing to hide. I stared at the ceiling and replayed every moment I'd ignored. Denial is loud at first. Then it gets quiet. Then it disappears. What replaces it is focus. And focus sharpens everything. I didn't spy. I verified. There's a difference. Phone records don't lie. They just sit there, waiting for someone calm enough to ask the right questions. Numbers repeating. Times aligning too perfectly with her errands. I learned his schedule before I learned his name. I watched them once. From across the street. She laughed differently with him. Freely. Like gravity had loosened its grip. That hurt more than the touch I imagined. Still, I stayed invisible. I began preparing my exit while she prepared her excuses. The DNA test arrived on a Tuesday. Plain envelope. No emotion. Just data. I hadn't wanted to believe it would matter. It did. Not because of what it said, but because of what it confirmed. She had been lying longer than I knew. Deeper than I feared. Every truth tightened the noose she didn't know was already around her. At dinner, I smiled. Asked about her day. Listened. Nodded. Played my part. Inside, I was dismantling a future I would never live. I wasn't angry. Anger is messy. I was precise. And precision is colder than hate. I waited until she was relaxed. Comfort makes people careless. I placed the folder on the table between us. No announcement. No accusation. Just paper. She frowned. Opened it. Read once. Then again. Her breath caught. Sharp. Like she'd been cut. What is this? She whispered. I watched her face fracture. Every muscle betraying a different emotion. Fear, guilt, disbelief. Her hand shook. Mine didn't. You already know, I said. Minimal. Enough. She tried to speak. Failed. Tried again. I can explain. No, I replied. That was the first time she really looked at me that night. And in her eyes, I saw it. The realization. I hadn't just found out. I had moved on. I told her everything I knew. Not loudly. Not cruelly. Methodically. Dates. Times. Messages. Names. Each detail landed like a weight she couldn't lift. I was going to tell you, she said. I nodded, as if considering it. You already did, I answered. Every time you didn't. She cried then. Finally. The kind of crying meant to rewind time. It didn't work. I stood. Picked up my coat. She reached for me. I stepped back. I meant it, I said calmly. Take your time. Her mouth opened. Closed. Understanding arrived too late to save her. I left without slamming the door. That mattered. Outside, the air was cold. Honest. It didn't pretend to be anything else. I felt lighter. Not healed. Not happy. Unburdened. Some people think revenge is destruction. They're wrong. Revenge is absence. It's the silence you leave behind when you stop explaining yourself. She never saw me again, but she would always hear my voice in her head. The calm one. The one that walked away. And that was enough.